and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can we get a roll call, please?
Blair.
Here.
Broughton.
Here.
De Palma. Here. Thurman.
Yeah, here.
Unruh.
Here.
Rumble.
Here. All right, we're looking for a motion to approve the agenda. I don't
So
believe.
moved.
Thank you. Steve. I'll go ahead and second that. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, that brings us right into our reports. We have the treasury report. We have a general ledger report. Or no, we don't actually have that. We just have the treasury. We do not have the designated or reconciliation. Those are all being worked on. Building department in there. We're up to 22 home starts for the year. Last year was 15, so we're 7 over. Parks and Rec, Fred's not here, but there is a report in there. And the Burton Senior Center, Faye, you are here. Would you like to say anything? Okay.
So Rosalind and I met today on the grant and filling out the paperwork and everything. And I will be sending you, Jason, and Rosalind a copy before I submit it.
Sure.
To go over it. And instead of, we were gonna ask for 50,000, but we figured it out, kind of overestimated quite a few things just to be on the safe side and changing it to 40,000.
Okay.
So, like I said, the 15,000 that we have already allotted for the painting can go towards that. My education class from the dementia training and my certificate can go towards the matching.
Okay.
My phone system really is bad. I looked today, so online, to find something a little better, because if I'm on line 1 and line 2 rings, line 1 person can't hear me.
Right.
Say, can you hold? I mean, it was a Walmart phone system.
It's time to overhaul those in general. We're gonna look at that.
I did have one roofer come out, but he's out of town right now, but he will have the quote to me before the next board meeting. I had one roofer who told me that he would not waste his time coming out and giving me a quote because he wasn't picked for the last time.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And then
He showed you, didn't he?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That's how you stay in business.
Yeah. And then I had another one who is going to do an aerial view of the building, and then he'll contact me. I have not gotten any painting quotes yet. I haven't called anybody. And also, bad news. When the one roofing contractor was in, it's behind the door, there is a leak.
Okay.
There was a leak. So, and Rosalind saw it is pretty bad. So it's in the storage room, and when you open the door, you know, I don't look behind the door, but he
gotcha.
was looking for the attic access, and I said, I have no idea where the attic access is. So he was just going around looking,
Okay.
so we will have to have that repaired, so we could use that as the part of the matching.
Okay.
So, don't think I'm forgetting anything, other than don't forget this Saturday, starting at 4 o'clock for hors d'oeuvres, 5 o'clock for dinner, and then 7 or so is live entertainment at the center for Christmas dinner, so I hope to see you there.
Thank you, Faye.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, CDBG, do you have anything for that, Rosalind?
We're still waiting for the county.
Okay. All right, that brings us into our trustee reports. Kathy?
Okay, the Retirement Oversight Committee did not meet last month. I was just curious, most of the packet information is one-sided. Is that just, is something wrong with the printer, or is it just whoever's putting
Somebody
it
else
in
did
isn't
the packet
thinking
this
of it?
time because Pam's on vacation.
Oh, okay. All right. And also, I had a question on, there's personal information in here, and I know it's public record once it goes into a packet, and I'm just wondering if sometimes the job applications, parts of them can be redacted, so we're not sharing personal information.
I didn't put that online. I didn't scan that as part of the
Good.
online.
Good,
So it's not out there.
okay.
And in fact, Brenda told me that she didn't even put that in the other packets. It's only the board members have that.
Okay.
Because it was personal,
Right,
the
right.
personal application.
Yeah,
So, just so you know.
all right. I mean, it's a lot of good information, but there was also like phone numbers and stuff that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then I was just wondering why I got the municipal park regulation ordinance in my mailbox. Did someone ask for that and everybody got it, or?
No idea. You'll have to ask Fred.
Okay.
I got one too. We all got them.
Yeah, we all got them.
Fred gave them to the Parks and Rec subcommittee, but I don't know why we put them in the other ones.
Oh,
He gave them to us at the meeting. But I don't know why they would have went in your, I don't know who put them in there.
Okay. I just saw,
I
thought,
think,
are we
I think
updating this
his
or
new
something?
person, because she
No.
was going to bring me a copy too,
I
and
gotcha.
and I told her
Yeah.
she delivered mine too.
Right. So it's okay. It's not hurting anything.
Right. Okay. That's all my questions I had, and everybody be careful when the roads start getting slippery, and have a Merry Christmas.
Steve?
None of my committees met, and Merry Christmas. I have nothing else to say.
Good job, Steve.
Dana?
My retirement oversight committee didn't meet, like Kathy said. My Parks and Recs committee did meet, and we discussed, Fred's not here really to give the report, but we discussed about grant for the park for a gazebo in the tree library, and then discuss staffing.
All right, thank you. Treasurer's report?
Bills are out in the wild. They're already getting paid, so it's a good thing, because it was with this new transit millage, it was touch and go, but we got them out, and people are starting to pay, and I haven't got mine today, so whoever's
I got mine
received,
today.
okay, good. So they're out there.
Yep.
Thanks,
they're
God,
out.
I got mine
No
today.
problem, Steve. No problem.
Thanks a
Merry
lot.
Christmas.
I gotta come to the
See you in
meeting.
February.
Yeah. That's it for me.
Okay, thanks. Rosalind?
Thank you all for attending the board meeting for Brandon Township. Oakland County has completed their canvass for the November 8th, 2022 election. The canvass was a success. Again, I just wanted to thank everyone who's a part of making Brandon Township elections a success. This would not have been possible without all of you. We are looking at a part-time driver for the Edna Burton Senior Center. So please send your resumes and applications to the clerk's office, or you can go onto the website under clerk, click on my name, and that you can send an email from there. I just wanted to give a report on the Taylor and Morgan group. They had started, and they're doing a great job. The clerk's office is very thankful to have them. Melissa, the accountant, she's here tonight too. She has been working closely with them. Melissa and I did an audit today of all the journal entries for the biweekly payroll. Currently, we are working towards getting all of the biweekly payrolls entered into BS&A. The goal is to have them done by December 8th. And the monthlies and paid call longevity will be done next. Also, the Taylor Morgan Group has been working on completing our bank reconciliations. Shauna and her staff will be back on December 8th and the 15th. And then that's all I have.
All right, thank you. For me, I just wanted to say I had a good time at Christmas in the Village this weekend. Pulling the township float in the parade was fun too. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And we are going to take applications if you're interested in serving on the Planning Commission. So that'll be in the paper this weekend. And then they'll have about a week to get applications in, and we'll review those and look to make sure those seats are all filled.
How many are open?
None technically, but we want to make sure we look at
I see.
if there's
Gotcha.
anybody else interested in
I
serving.
see.
Yep. Okay. And that's it for me. So correspondence that we have would be the Zoning Board of Appeals. Minutes from 10/26/22, and that brings us to citizens' comments on agenda items only. Is there any citizens that want to speak on the agenda items? Okay. See none, we'll move on. Nothing under discussion. Brings us to our consent agenda. We have the regular meeting minutes of 11/14/2022, regular bills in the amount of $12,111, prepays in the amount of $690,236, and trustee timesheets in the amount of $648. So we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve this consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I also wanted to add, I did have a question because I noticed the prepays were really, really high, so that made me look into it. And after just having a discussion with Rosalind and the accountant, the terminology is a little off, so we're not prepaying that $690,000 in bills like for next month that are coming in. So it'll all get straightened out eventually and hopefully be a little easier to understand.
Okay. Can we go ahead and roll call that, please?
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries. No unfinished business. So that brings us right into our new business. The first thing we have is a new hire for the supervisor assessing office's administrative assistant. This job was posted. We had several applications. We offered interviews to 3 candidates. One chose not to be interviewed. The remaining 2 applicants were interviewed by myself, Pam, the assessor, and the building clerical staff as well. And we're all recommending the hire that's in front of you. So, any
That
questions?
sounds really great. I'd like to make a motion to hire Heather.
Thank you, Steve.
I can't pronounce it. Starts with a T and it ends in a ski. As the full-time administrative assistant at $19.85 per hour.
Thank you, Steve.
Is
I'll
that-
second that.
Thank you, Kathy.
And how,
Sorry, I butchered her name.
how do you pronounce it? Tchaikovsky.
Like how it spells.
Yep. You guys?
Yes, and that's just gonna come out of the full-time admin line, correct?
Yes. Yeah, the 101,
Yep,
175.
sorry.
Yep, you're good. Okay. We'll take a roll call, please.
Broughton,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries. Welcome, Heather. And see you as soon as you can get here. Yep. All right, and that brings us to, Scott brought this to me, unsold tax property from the county. Basically, they wanted to deed us this parcel that was attached here. As you can see, it's landlocked and there's no way for us to get to it, and it's tiny, so we don't really see a reason for us to own this. So I would like to have someone make the motion to allow me to object to the county for giving it to us.
So moved.
Thank you, Kathy.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Steve. And we'll take a roll call, please.
De Palma,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries. All right, and next we have a wage increase for the janitorial staff. And, so basically, we're looking to move that up. She is at the very bottom of the scale even after the raises. It was, for next year, was, budgeted at the lowest end of the scale, and Faye had mentioned to me that she would like to give a increase to that, and it is the supervisor's discretion to raise that, and I did speak with Lieutenant Glover as well, and he would also like to move her up. So we are looking to move her up $1 from the bottom of the scale.
I don't think you really had to bring this to the board, but it's nice that you did.
Yeah.
Transparency.
But I also think this one sentence here, Stacy's been doing an exceptional job. Since I kind of started getting involved around here in 2016, we've had a few different groups or people doing it. She does a great job.
She does.
Good. It's hard to find.
Yes.
It is.
I know, I struggle.
Yeah.
And we do have enough budgeted for that in next year's budget already for this increase, so. All right, somebody, oh yeah, that's
I
right.
need to abstain from this vote.
Yep, that's right. So we need to vote
I'll
on
make
that.
a motion to allow the clerk to abstain from the vote.
I will second that.
Just a little bit of discussion on that. I was reading an article in the MTA magazine, and unless you are directly receiving some kind of benefit, you don't have to abstain. I'm not going to say you can't do it tonight, Rosalind, but it's something that I know that Jason and I have done in the past when it's come to BGYA, and we really don't have to because we're not getting any direct benefit from that, just so you know.
I just feel comfortable
That's
not voting on
fine.
this.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we will go ahead and vote on that motion to abstain and allow the clerk to not vote on this suggested motion. So we'll take a roll call on that, please.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh.
Yes.
I'm sorry, does Blair vote on this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. So now I would like to make this suggested motion to approve the request to move Stacy's janitorial wage to $16 per hour from $15 per hour on the janitorial wage scale effective January 1, 2023.
Second.
Thank you. And we'll roll call that without Rosalind, please.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, Township meeting calendar. The February meeting was scheduled, and I forgot to look at my personal calendar, and I have a conflict. I'm going to be out of the country on the 6th, so I asked Rosalind and Scott if it was okay to move it to the 13th, so I could still be there and run the meeting, so I'm looking to have the suggested motion approved.
I will make the motion to approve the proposed date change of the February board meeting from February 6th, 2023 to February 13th, 2023 as presented.
I'll support.
Thank you. And can we go ahead and get a roll call on that, please?
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries, thank you. All right, and then we do have Stuart has, again, I swore that we already did this, but Stuart said we didn't, and he wants us to make sure that Jason Wilton has the authority to write tickets.
So, funny thing, right? So we were auditing, going through all of the GL codes to audit and to make sure everyone's getting paid from their line items.
Yeah.
And I had to do some digging back in our minutes, and we have done this before.
I
Because
swore
I
we
was
did,
looking
but
at
Stuart
this and
said
I'm
we
like,
didn't.
we have done this before,
We had to, by the way, yes.
but it doesn't hurt.
We'll do it again. And the one thing, Jason's name does not have a Y in it that like mine does, so we'll cross that Y out, but.
Does it give them double enforcement powers?
does not.
Oh.
So in the first whereas line, Jason does not have a Y in it. All right, so we just need to approve this affirming his authority as the fire marshal and building inspector. Would somebody like to?
I'll make a
Yep, go ahead,
motion
yep.
to approve the resolution affirming the authority of fire marshal and building inspector as
I'll
as
second.
amended.
Oh, as amended,
Yep.
I'll second that.
Thank you. And we'll go ahead and roll call that, please.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Chief, that brings it up to you. Dave, you're up.
Look ready.
It's just the second reading of the fire
Yeah.
code, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think you had everything in there
Okay.
from the previous meeting, so
Nothing else to add to it?
no,
Perfect.
nothing else to add to it.
Okay, let's,
So I'll make a motion
Okay.
to adopt an ordinance to amend Brandon Township Fire Code by adoption of specific provisions of the 2018 International Fire Code and amending Chapter 20, Article 2, where appropriate pursuant to the general powers to approve ordinances and the authority to adopt standard codes pursuant to MCL 42.23, as presented.
for second reading, yep. Perfect. So as presented,
To
your
adopt.
second?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. We'll go ahead and roll call that, please.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. All right, Scott?
Okay, the investment policy, this has not been edited in any way in the past 24 years or so. And the reason it came up now is because I want to add an option to the banks that we're using, and it's the group is called Michigan Class. Well, to do that, whenever you want to add a new company/bank to your investing policy, you have to present them with your investment policy because they have to sign off and say, yes, we've read this, and I couldn't find a copy on the server. There's no electronic copy available, but I was able to find a hard copy of it. Well, some of the wording in there is not correct, and I put a copy of that, it's here on the dais, and explained the changes that I made. So rather than retyping the whole thing, because there was the hard copy of it, I called Joe Ferrari over at Oxford Township. He's been the treasurer there for 30 years, and I asked him to send me his copy. They're almost verbatim the same, so I'm assuming that whoever did ours in 98 copied, or 95 and 98, took his and copied it and just changed, instead anywhere that said Oxford Township, they just changed it to Brandon Township. So now we have an electronic copy, and I need the board to approve that. And then the second part of this, there's a resolution at the end to change the banks that we're using. So that's the purpose of this.
Okay, so you want a motion? You have a question?
Go ahead.
I can make a motion.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the amended investment policy as presented and amend the dates in the employee operations manual accordingly.
Okay, Kathy added that second part, so you want to put that in there. It's just, in our operations manual, it says regarding the financial or the investment policy edited or amended on these dates, and I'll just add today's date to that. Is really the only change there.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and second that. Any other questions? All right, roll call, please.
DePalma,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries. And then you need a motion for your
Yes,
resolution.
and then, so at the very end of your investment policy that we just approved, you'll see that there's an appendix. And this appendix, it looks a little different than the ones that I saw. Terry had brought one back in 2017. I remember seeing that one. And it's just from time to time, we keep that updated. Here's the list of banks that we're going to use. Well, this document is different than the ones that she used. I wanted to keep it all part of the investment policy. And the only changes that are significant is I added CIBC, Flagstar, and then up above where those banks are listed, you'll see Oakland County Investment Pool. The more important one is Michigan Class. Michigan Class is the whole reason we're going through this exercise. I'm not a big fan of chasing interest rates, but Oakland County's been lagging now for a while, and Michigan Class is doing much better right now. We're getting maybe 1.6% from Oakland County. Michigan Class is offering 3.8%, so it's a big difference. We're kind of already using Michigan Class indirectly because Oakland County invests with Michigan Class. So indirectly, we're already using them, but the whole point of it was to get this Michigan Class added into the mix. There were a number of other banks from the older lists that aren't even banks anymore. They've been absorbed by another bank, and so I removed all those. And even half of these we don't use. We just don't, but these are the big ones. So that's the point of this. So this resolution, I need a motion to accept this resolution.
Okay.
So this appendix is part of the township investment policy?
Yes.
Okay. I can.
But in the future, I can just bring the appendix to.
An amendment appendix.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, and I remember the treasurer's office.
That's right. Yeah.
updating.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kathy, if you're.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to include the Appendix A of the Township Investment Policy as presented.
I will second that.
Kathy and Rosalind. All right, let's go ahead and do a roll call, please.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
DePalma,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries. All right, and that brings us to the last item, which would be the CDBG program year 2023.
Yep. So it's that time of year again where we have an application due for our community development block grant. This application is due December 23rd. We had our public hearing last month, and so I am looking for suggested motion to approve for public services for our youth services. For you should actually have a revised copy in front of you. And the old one's going to say child care services. We're actually going to change that to the other public services not listed. I had a long talk with Oakland County, and I just had that coded wrong. So we're going to actually code that as other public services not listed. And then the public services and improvements at the senior center, they have a deck on the south side of the building that needs to be repaired, and the front. So we're looking to get that fixed.
All right. I know Scott mentioned that earlier, but if anybody has an issue with it, I will abstain from voting on it because I am a board member on BGYA.
I don't think we need to,
But
Jason.
in the past, though, Candy, we did it, and we brought it
We've
back,
always
and
done
they
it. Yeah.
said they wouldn't give us the
Well,
money.
Well, okay,
if we
we'll
did
do
it.
it tonight, but I think that we should talk to Stuart on that, because I think moving forward, we don't need to do it, but I'll abstain then too.
Okay.
As long, if we don't have a
I
quorum.
don't know if
then-
you have to. I have to because I'm a board member, but I
I
don't
am
think.
too.
I didn't think you were.
I am.
Okay.
We're both board
Okay.
members.
All right.
I'll make a motion to allow the township supervisor and the township treasurer to abstain from voting on the community development block grant proposal.
Okay.
Second.
So, okay, so we will vote on this one, but we won't vote on the second one. So, all right, let's go ahead and roll call that, please.
Thurman,
Yes.
Unruh,
Yes.
Ware,
Yes.
Broughton,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Rumble.
Yes, motion carries. All right, so then we need to make the motion as presented. Does anybody want to do that?
We still have 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have 4. We have 6 here.
Okay.
Yep. You're good.
Barely.
Barely. All right. Well, I'm not going to make the motion because
I'll make the motion.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank
Make a
you,
motion
Steve.
to approve resolution number 377-22 and allocate the program year 2023 CDBG funding to public facilities and improvements, senior center in the amount of $19,750, public service youth assistance in the amount of $3,500, other public services not listed in the amount of $3,500.
Second.
All right, thank you. Any other questions for that? Nope. All right, can we go ahead and roll call that one, please? Just the 4?
Unruh,
Yes.
Ware,
Yes.
De Palma,
Yes.
Thurman,
Yes.
All right, motion carries.
Got to go last,
I
Kathy.
just wanted to make
like
it
the old days, right?
suspenseful.
Right.
Add a little
All right.
danger to this meeting.
That brings us back to citizens' comments, and that can be on anything. Any citizens have any? Rick? Yeah, you can let Faye know. Yep. I don't know. All right.
Come on up and make your
You
recommendation.
can come up and make a recommendation if you want. Okay. Does any other citizens have anything? Okay, seeing none. Any additional board comments, Kathy?
No.
Steve?
No, sir.
It's Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Rosalind?
Yes, I did not mention that the Parks and Rec Subcommittee met, but I know, Dana, you spoke on behalf of that. Jason, I don't know if there's anything you want to add to the subcommittees, but I think we kind of,
We should have the minutes for the next meeting, so.
yeah.
But Rod.
And Merry Christmas.
And I don't have anything to add other than Merry Christmas again.
You skipped me.
Oh, sorry. I looked right at you and then skipped you. Go ahead, Dana.
I wanted to say I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. I didn't get to do Christmas in the village this year. I felt bad, but my daughter did get to volunteer and help kids do crafts, so that was cool. But everybody, I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Perfect. All right, that brings us to motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Steve. I'll go ahead and second that. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.